Good morning. I'm watering the plants this morning, and time check, it is already 8:45 here in Region 7 of the Philippines, in Cebu, in Mabono, Cebu City. I'm very behind already with time, or I will be watering it by this time. I think it is already 9, and I'll let you see my stock of fish blood. There's a lot of stock here. This came from our kitchen, from the fishes that are being cleaned, washed. This is the blood collected in the water, and the whole of it, the water and the blood. This is what I apply to the plant. It is, I base it on 1 spoon per a medium plant. But if it's already like that of the tomato, that it's a lot taller, that will be at least 2 spoons or 3 spoons. But I feed it with 3 spoons and a lot of water, because it demands a lot of water, the tomato. And I have here the potato and banana water soluble fertilizer, or the water tea, which I usually mention as a water tea. This is 1 week plus already, because I still have stock of here, but I have already used it up. So this is now what I got today here. Okay, let's water now, because it will be 10 o'clock, and luckily it's not, the sunshine is not around since this morning. I was so busy because my parents are not here, and I was doing some works in the house and attending my nephews and niece. So as you see, it's cloudy day. I have already watered the onion and malunggay. The onion, I measured it with, since it is 3 plants over there, 3 sets of plants. This one, it is 1 set. This one, it is 1 set, and this one I have just cut it, use it in cooking, the biggest one, and it has already grown. That's how we collect on the onion. You just cut it here, don't pull it, just cut it, because it will still be, it is still able to grow. And watering it depends if you want it every other day or alternate days, and also it can be once every 3 days. For now, I am deciding to water it once every 3 days, so that it will have another growth of plant here. Because if I keep on watering it, I have observed, when under the sunshine, exposed here under the heat, it will not bear so much leaves. But when it will be watered every other day or every other days, it is able to have another new growth of onion plant. Because maybe when the ground is so wet, the roots will be soaked, as commonly it is. It will be soaked because it is wet, and the bulb that is supposed to grow bigger will be stuck, like it will be soaked also, and like it will rot. So it will be stressed and will not be able to grow another plant, but instead it will have a very green foliage and foliage, but just a few of it, and it can't bear another growth of plants. So I decided to water it every other days, or for now once every 3 days. I've also planted here another set. As you see, I keep on watering it morning and afternoon. And there you see here the new planted that they are being soaked because it is also raining, but I have to water it every day, morning and afternoon, because it hasn't reached yet 30 days. And maybe because sometimes I skip on days, they usually get upset, the newly planted. The newly planted onion must be regularly watered for 30 days morning and afternoon so that it will not be upset and act this way. See? And this one is fighting because it has already grown longer. Because if it is like this shorter and you will skip a day, it will really get upset, and this one will appear. See, it has melted. It's not anymore doing well. I have to pull it because it will attract diseases. This one is still okay, and this one here I've just newly buried it. And for the malunggay, the measurement of the water tea will be like 6 spoons, 6 or 5, like this. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 spoon, and then water will be a bit like that, not so much, or just a little bit of water than I have put here. But I have already watered the malunggay, so I'll just add an equal amount of water and an equal amount of water tea for the bell pepper, and it's just like that, just a little taste of it, because they don't want to be soaked or to have wet grounds, especially now that it is going to rain and there is no sunshine. There is not much evaporation that will take place. Even if it is not raining, it is also significant to take note on the evaporation of the moisture in the soil, because if it is too wet, the bell pepper can take it and it will gradually react to the too much moisture of the soil. It's just a little. This one is already killed, too much moisture. But it really needs to have water tea morning and afternoon. Just a taste of it, just like that. Equal amount of water tea and equal amount of water. It's like 1 spoon of water tea and 1 spoon of water, but you can also add up 2 if you want your plant to be quickly flowering. Still have bell pepper here. As you see, the other bell peppers are suffering from leaf pests, like aphids or of any kinds, because they were the first. Because the pests that are in this ecosystem, this small ecosystem, can only eat or consume this part here. So The one here that is very lush is the one that is not yet attacked by them, because they were still attacking here. So this one was able to develop well. So if we have organic spray, then we can cope this up. Then these two will be like this, will be lush. Okay, just a taste, just like that. Okay, but they won't die because they're being covered up with the water tea. They will cope up when it will not be very rainy days. This will be for the tomato. 3 spoons or 4 spoons for other tomatoes. And I will just put not so much water because yesterday it was raining. But still, for other plants, this will be too much of water. 3 spoons again. This is for the potted. This also applies to those that are just being grown on the ground. Okay, I'll finish that later. For the okra, for one okra, they enjoyed a lot of soluble. They can even endure all solubles, only pure soluble, water tea, no water. But I rather be at the safe side, so just around 5 spoons. They will really grow in just half the water because it's been raining yesterday, but they also like to have a lot of water. I just want it that way, that I won't invite a lot of leaf miners. And for that, since it has 5 drunks, that will be, I will just 3 half of water of this, because the container is just the same with that. So let's just adjust. And the leaves are already very light, so if we are going to exactly give it and the exact feed, then it will be too much of leaves. So just enough for it to be exposed with air, that the plant can also breathe. Sorry. And also here, the ampalaya, it will be, the measure is also like the okra. And since I have 2 here, it is bounded here. There is a blocking way. Another container inside, so I water it with 2 like this, or half, depending on the situation. If it is rainy, then I will just equal it, the water tea and the water will just be in equal volume. This one also, water tea and water in equal volume. And the green beans, it doesn't want a lot of water because it doesn't want too much moist ground, so also equal amount of water. And water tea, I gave it 6 spoons for each. 6 spoons of water tea. And the jicama doesn't also want too much of, and the jicama here also doesn't want moisty ground, so just equal amount of water tea and water. And since it is a longer vine already, it has already matured, it has reached already here, and that will be 4 scoops or 4 spoons, and just a little, not so much equal amount of water, but a little much of water, but not so much of water, just almost equal. Okay, I'll proceed in watering this one. We'll make it quicker because I still have to water on the ornamental plants in the house, and it is already lunch. Okay. I've already watered the ampalaya. I think so. Wait, I'll add. I thought it was the ampalaya. So I'll just divide this one because this is too much of water. Yesterday it was raining. It's like that. Not so much. Add a little of water tea that it will be unequal with the water. Okay. This is the green bean. This is the bell pepper. And this also has bell peppers here, and the sunshine is not able to hover here, so the bell pepper is not coping so much because bell peppers are heat plants. They are much fonder of heat, of hot places, exposure in the sun. Wait. Just equal a bit so that it will not make the ground moisty. Just hit on the base of the plant, just like that, and the extra will be here. Sorry. And see the ginger, it's not also doing well because it was placed on the, I used to put it here under the ampalaya, and it is not exposed of the sun, and it since it's been rainy days, it's been soaked and being attacked by leaf miners also. I watered it with equal amount of much concentrated with water tea and equal amount of water. What I mean of much concentrated water tea is it has much amount of water tea. I've already watered the lemongrass. It's still alive. Hopefully it will not die. I have here lime. It has overpowered the bell pepper. It is much more big. It has much more big appetite than the bell pepper. So the bell peppers there are they are malnourished. Okay. And we have here onions, and I have here a container that will hold on the base of the ampalaya trellis, and so that I can also make use of it, I planted it here, some onions. And since the sun is not exposing the onions, this will appear like this with thin foliage, but since it is still starting, newly planted, this will be the new leaves will be very thin, and later on it will have those thicker leaves and longer leaves if we are able to feed it the exact time of feeding. Will not malnourish it. So a tomato here that I just allowed and let to grow, not in the pot. It is just on the ground, and since it is on the ground, I did not tie the trunks, so the trunks is just laying down, and there are roots growing on the trunks that are laying on the ground, so it has more roots than that ones on the pots, so it is much able to absorb nutrients. So as you can see, the difference that the leaves are much lush than these ones here in the pots. And even though it is very susceptible with microorganisms like fungi, molds, it is able to cope. It is still able to have to bear much leaves because it is able to absorb much nutrients, and as you see, it has already fruit. And here's the try to compare it with the tomatoes here. The leaves are tiny and are attacked by leaf miners. They were not able to have new thicker leaves, not so much because they only have small media, soil media, and they just depend on the nutrients that are there. Unlike here on the ground, it is able to bear a lot of roots. See, just let it just allow it to place itself the way it wants it to be. Okay, it's more root ready. Okra has a lot of fruits. It's bigger if you're able to water it morning and afternoon, and with condiment, it will have bigger fruits. And it is not bigger fruit, but it hasn't matured yet. Like it's just for 2 to 3 days age okra. Now with the cayenne pepper. For the cayenne pepper, as of all the plants here, the only thing that I maintain is the water tea, the amount of water tea, and the water is the only thing that I keep on adjusting. It depends with the weather, if it's rainy or if it is a dry weather. And the cayenne doesn't want very moist soil. It only wants just enough for it that the roots will not be soaked. It will not make the roots rot. Here's the papaya, and it has already have fruits, but the only thing here, the size didn't change, only the color. It is getting darker green, has many flowers already. Maybe it's not yet time for it to grow. So that's it for today's vlog. Hope you like it. Ring the notification button, put your comments down, and also subscribe. Thank you everyone, and hope you enjoyed watching. Bye.